Humans have never traveled this far because Artemis is not going to the moon. It's flying a little bit past the moon. So Artemis is going a bit farther even than Apollo 13, which very famously also flew by the moon. As to why this is important, even if we're not landing, because we are still going to the moon. That in and of itself is a major feat. We should still be interested in that. And again, Artemis II is largely here to let us test these systems, let us make sure that they work. The pilot and some of the crew even are getting a chance to fly the ship themselves. Very famously, Apollo 11 almost didn't make it because their planned landing site had a lot of boulders in the way. So Neil Armstrong had to take over and had to fly the ship while it was getting ready to land. So we're doing this to make sure that our pilots potentially could fly the ship if they had to. Primary purpose is basically to test out the Artemis system, in particular, the human system with it. There was a lot of news recently, a lot of jokes certainly about the bathroom not working, but it is exactly that kind of thing that this mission is there to test. Artemis I was sent up uncrewed, so they could test the basic functioning of the ship, but it's how people interact with the ship that is really the purpose of this mission. We have not had anybody go out this far in a long time. We've had people living on the International Space Station, but practically speaking, the International Space Station is right next door. So this is the first time that people have passed, that human beings, like the physical living human person, has passed through the Van Allen belt since the Apollo mission, and our technology is a lot better these days. All these historic first woman, first black person, they are showing that we are not as much biasing towards a particular demographic. We want the best of everybody. There is a plan for the Artemis missions. So this is Artemis II. Artemis I was launched a little while ago. Hopefully there'll be Artemis III next year and Artemis IV the year after that. The big picture for Artemis is the moon. We're going to the moon, we're going back to the moon, as we keep saying. Ideally, and this is being a bit optimistic here, but ideally leading to a permanent, if not permanent inhabitation, a permanent habitat. That maybe we will drop people off and then come back, but it will still be there the next time we want to go. Science benefits. And that answer is true. It's also somewhat difficult to support because yes, science often does help, but it's really hard to predict how it's going to help. Why would discovering a particular pair of plastics that stick together, why would that be any benefit? Oh, we've just discovered Velcro. So from a purely science view, we can't necessarily say what are going to be the downstream effects of this, but it's a gamble that's historically always been in our favor. When I was younger, this seems kind of cliche, but I wondered if there would ever be a person going to the moon in my lifetime, and well, now there is. And in a couple years, there'll be, hopefully, a person actually stepping foot on the moon like last time.